The VVS Finance Initial Gem offering is an opportunity to purchase a brand new token launching on Cronos at a fixed price using VVS as a project launchpad. You asked for it, so here are my thoughts on the VVS IGO. Now, the information on the VVS Finance website is quite sparse, so this video is just my understanding based on this information and also from what I've read and researched on forums, etc. Now, I'll try and leave links to everything I've read down below so you can take a look for yourself. So let's take a look at the VVS IGO. Now, in the world of stocks and shares, an initial public offering or IPO refers to the process of offering shares of a private company to the public in a new stock issuance. On November 30th, VVS Finance announced the launch of their initial gem offering or IGO, which much like an IPO will allow early investors the opportunity to purchase brand new tokens at a fixed price from new projects launching on the Cronos platform before they go on general sale to the public via cryptocurrency exchanges. Now, if we look at the IGO basics on the VVS Finance website, we can see that there's information for both the VVS community, that's basically you and me, the people who are invested in the projects, and the project owners, that's the people who will be creating new projects and offering new tokens on the Cronos network. So relating this back to the stock market example, the project developers are the equivalent of the companies in the stock market who are looking to raise capital from new investors. Before the public issuance of any stock, an investment bank is hired to determine the value of the company and its shares before they're listed on an exchange. Now, the objective of an IPO is to sell a predetermined number of shares at an optimal price. As a result, companies will usually only conduct an IPO when they anticipate that the demand for their shares will be high. Any investors wanting to buy shares in an IPO can put in a bid for allocation. Then one of two things can happen. First, the total number of successful bids is less than or equal to the number of shares offered by the company. And second, the total number of successful bids is more than the number of shares offered by the company. This is what's known as oversubscription. In the first instance, the complete allotment of shares will take place, meaning every applicant who's applied will be assigned the number of shares they applied for. In the second instance, where more bids are made than there are shares available, then not everybody will be allocated shares. Some will fail to get the exact number of shares that they applied for, whilst others might not get any shares at all. Unlike with a company, where the public issuance of a stock's value is determined by an investment bank before they are listed on an exchange, Cronos developers will give each new project a target capital value that it's looking to raise. The project target amount will be achieved by investors providing liquidity in the project using CRO VVS paired liquidity pool tokens. There will be a cap on how much any one investor can commit to purchasing. The caps will be determined on a per IGO basis. There will also be a max overflow amount, at which point the IGO will stop accepting additional VVS CRO LP commitments. The information on the website states that this is an anti-whale and bot mechanism that can help ensure each user receives more token allocation. If a project receives more VVS CRO liquidity pool tokens commitment than the amount the project is trying to raise, an investor will receive the allocation proportional to the total amount committed. So in short, if a project is popular and gets a lot of VVS CRO liquidity pool token commitment from the community, then investors will be able to buy less of the tokens being offered for sale. To participate and be in with a chance of being allocated new tokens, you will need to meet the following criteria. First, you will need to stake 1 million VVS tokens in the glitter mines for at least 7 days prior to the IGO sale. This is subject to change in the future based on community feedback. Now, from my understanding, this can be staked in either the auto mine or the manual mine. My video on VVS glitter mines shows you exactly how to add 1 million VVS tokens to the auto mine. You will also need to have VVS CRO LP tokens. This will be needed to purchase the new tokens being offered by the project. My video tutorial on VVS farming shows you exactly how to create VVS CRO liquidity pool tokens and how to provide liquidity to VVS. So the question is, will putting money into an IGO be a good investment? And to be honest, it's difficult to say until we get more information from VVS Finance and a sale actually takes place. At the moment, everything is just speculation, and everything I've said here is only my understanding of things from reading through the VVS website and reading what others have said. However, having the option to be one of the first to buy a brand new token at a fixed possibly reduced rate before it's offered to an exchange does sound like a good opportunity to make some money. In many cases, when investors buy shares at a fixed rate during an IPO, they can quickly make a profit when the company opens up on an exchange and the share is at a higher price than when they purchased it. Hopefully, this is what will happen with an IGO. Now, let's look at a really simple example of how this might work. So let's say a new project wants to raise $1 million for a new token called Norbit. And the token price is listed at 20 cents, meaning there will be 5 million Norbit tokens available. If the max cap is set at 1,000 tokens and you buy the full amount, this will cost you $200. Once the IGO ends and the token is released on an exchange, it may have an opening price of 32 cents. That means your 1,000 tokens are now worth $320, giving you an instant profit of $120 or 60%. But IPO investors don't always make a profit, as has been proven time and time again. And in fact, in many of the IPOs, investors have burnt their fingers and suffered huge losses, and it's quite possible that early investors in the IGOs could suffer the same fate. We won't really know until things get underway and we can give it a go. Looking back at our example, the Norbit coin could open up on an exchange at 10 cents, and if this were the case, then our initial investment of $200 is now only worth $100 and we will have lost $100. If this happens, then there's nothing stopping us from keeping hold of this coin long term and waiting for the price to recover and hopefully skyrocket. We'll still make a profit, it will just take us longer to realise our gains. If there's one thing I've learned over the past couple of years, is that quite often the earlier that you get into a new crypto project, the more profitable it can be. So I'll certainly be giving an IGO a go once one is launched and see what happens. Now, I'll more than likely make a future video of this with results. As with all my videos, I will never suggest, recommend or try to persuade you to invest into anything, even if I myself am investing in the project. The videos are for information only and are not financial advice. Always do your own research and never invest anything on anybody's recommendation, no matter how good the project seems to be. An IPO, and in this case an IGO, is no different from any other investment. Investors need to do their own research and due diligence before committing any money, and only invest what you can afford to lose. Any questions or comments, please leave them down below in the comment section and I'll be sure to respond to as many as I can. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in another video.